Good morning. Welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Ian.
I'm Lauren.
And this is the weekend workout where we play with our strength, we warm up with care, and assemble skills with our body weight into things that look silly like that, perhaps, make you feel amazing like the handstand. Let's go. Any thoughts there, high toe?
Nope, that's it. Just a little bit of space.
Excellent. So we'll start with that head neck. I like to stand maybe in that squatting stance or similar, and at the head neck, let's just do our figure 8 circles. Hands can be behind the back or just placed at your sides. Start with our chin tuck, looking down. Then look to the right as you scrape the clavicle or collarbone. Then look up the sidewall, and from the sidewall to the ceiling, and when your chin and belly button line up, pull your chin back down through the middle. Repeat the other side. So that's a flexion shape, a looking out to the side shape, up the wall, to the ceiling. Once we're all lined up square, finish nice and tall. Let's just repeat once, going the other direction. Up into extension, then out the wall. So I'm looking to the right, down the wall. Chin scrapes the clavicle to middle, and then up one more time. The rotation to the left this time, and down the wall, across the clavicle, to the top of the sternum, and then look straight ahead. Let's repeat that same effort with the rib cage. Like for that again, just like Lauren did there, with the hands across the body. Start with a slight chin tuck, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then flex gently forward. Keep the hips forward, but rotate the upper body on a diagonal. Then I'll dip to the back corner, I'll go up and over a hurdle to the rear, and then in the middle, I'll come right back down, flexing the spine, keeping the shoulder blades tight. Then rotate the other way. Incorporate our side bend back there, and then up and over to the back, and then return to tall. Repeating one last time, it's extension first. So pull down your shield of abs, but lift up your heart just a little bit in that extension of the spine. Then we'll rotate to the right. I'll do my side bend to the back corner, and then I'll circle to the front. When I'm down in the middle, I'll be pulling down on that rope to extend through that T-spine. And final time, rotation other side. Side bend, rotation through, find the middle, and find those ha deep abs, and nice and tall. We'll come back to more shoulders and more wrists, but until then, take it away. Lauren.
With the hips, I guess that is, and the feet. With those feet underneath us, let's first just stand up tall and then gripping the floor, spreading out toes. Then I would like to do our pointed foot or our demi-point, and then our light real pointed toes, and gently flex around over those toes. Then push into the floors to get back to pointy point, demi-point. Let's go up to switch and slow down. Then use your toes to point. Gently flex around over those toes. Then come back over the toes, demi-point, up, hold a balance this time, squeezing your cheeks, pulling your kneecaps up, and then we'll do that one more time. Demi-point, point. This time as we flex over, try to keep the knee forward, but just wing that ankle out a little bit. And then pull the ankle back in, go back over the toes, demi-point, up, hold, one more switch, pointy toes, flex over, ankle wings out, knee stays forward, ankle pulls back in, over the toes. Last double balance up here. Keep those knees straight. Brace, stay square to the front of the room, and then just slow descent down. Give that a little shake. And next, let's do a little walk to open up those hips. So I'm gonna back up here, giving myself a little bit room in front. You don't need that much room. Heels together, feet slightly pointed out. Knees are gonna bend, knees towards over toes. Give your hips a little shimmy and shake while you're here. A light hula circle. See how they're feeling. Then, wall comes down on your head. Stay the same height. Point a leg laterally but forward. Toe ball heel. Pull yourself across. Point that back leg now, and then bring the heels back together, creating that nice diamondish shape down there. Point. Toe ball heel. Pull across. My hips are square to the front of the room. Shoulders are square to the front of the room. I'm maintaining that same height here. I'm working on my knee over toe mobility. I'm working on opening up those adductors as well as those rotators, keeping my legs rotated open here. We'll do one more in the forward direction. Now let's try going backwards back. So pointing to that rear lateral. And feel as you transfer your weight here, the pull and the push. The pull and the push here. Breathing. Last 2 steps. Whoosh. Last one, walking like that horse or a version of it. And then bring those legs underneath and just press gently to tall and give that a little.
Excellent. We mentioned those handstanding words and crawling skills first. So let's get to the floor, perhaps through our toe squat or a way that works for you. And we'll get in touch with those hands and shoulders from the ground. It's that cue for Lauren of knees over toes. Then peel those heels up and just hold a bent knee balance for a second. And then descend with control. And with the hands or without, knees down, hips through, cramp your glutes, test your shield. And then we'll assemble the hands on the floor. Fingers, calluses, hands. Feel that nice flow. Fingers, calluses, full hands. When that is fully contacted with the floor, spin so that blood donation is facing forward and the armpits are pulled down to the hips. But let's start with those blades or those armpits from there. Squeeze them together in a retraction. Elevate to the shoulders, to the ears. That's a useful position for the handstand. And then press in the floor as to wrap the blades around the rib cage body. Then pull them back down to the hips. And then pull them together. Let's do the same but opposite circle. So now we'll be going down to the hips again. Then that protraction or press into the floor. Elevate the shoulders next. Finish with a retract effort. And then use those hands to push away, flick the wrists, push your hips through, and encourage a little bit of a shake. Let's just do a quarter turn with those hands this time. Still landing, fingers, calluses, hands. I'll push my weight towards Lauren, and I'll go away from Lauren. Then pressing the other way to drift. Again, this is a useful skill for that handstand, as you want to make those corrections through the hands and not through a huge core shape or a big glute squeeze. But those small shapes in the hands and the firmness and rootedness of the fingertips will help the endurance of the handstand. I'm in the middle now, so I'll push equally both ways and just flick those wrists on through, add a little bit of a shake. And then my wrists feel pretty good, but I like doing one more. So I like making those fists like a gorilla here. Peace sign knuckles, we're a peaceful gorilla here. And open up one set of fingers so they flush to the floor. Then very modestly flex over the wrist, that back of hand or watch face towards the floor, and then press the fingers into the ground like Lauren's cue for the toes earlier to return. Repeat, other side. My fingers open, my elbow stays straight, my shoulder stays packed, and I'll press down into the ground to bring it back up to stack. One more time each. The flexion over the wrist. This is a flexibility drill. To this point, add that strength mobility piece by crushing safely, but pushing into the floor to return. One last time. Flexibility, get there with a relative ease. Mobility, find that way to strengthen the relationship. Then you use those fingertips, push those hips through, and then I'm going to throw it back to you. Warm up those hands. What do you think?
I think we should warm up our abs.
Oh, I love it.
And our hamstrings. So let's go between a regular plank and a little down dog here, okay? Hands are on the floor, opened up nice and wide underneath shoulders. Toes will tuck back behind us and we'll be in our high plank position. For this, our shoulders are pulled out of our ears, our elbows are straight, our butt cheeks are squeezed, and our core is braced. And we're pulling the floor together. Now, starting at the hips or pelvis or tailbone, whatever you'd like to call it, tip them forward, lifting the hips towards the ceiling first, and then start to lift your body into that A-frame shape. Breathe, hold, prioritize that tip in that anterior position of the hips, and then maybe bend and straighten the knees, but that'll feel like a lot. Then scoop the hips under and pull yourself back into that plank and repeat. Squeeze your cheeks, pull the floor together. Breathe and brace under that core tension for 3, 2. At the pelvis, it starts with an anterior tip, the hips lift back up to that plank. We're going to do 2 more and we're going to add on by taking away a leg if you would like to. So pull yourself back into that plank. Hold. 3, 2. This time a foot is going to flick. The hips are going to lift and we'll reach the leg high up to the ceiling. Notice though my hips are square to the floor. Breathe, reach long. 3, 2, pull through to that plank. Hold plank again. 3, 2, then flick. Reach to the ceiling. Breathe. Hold, reach long, reach long, reach long. Pull back to center. Hold a plank for 3, 2, knees down. Let's ankle squat to stand up. So sitting back in those pointed feet, taking a second off, then extending the hips forward, tucking the toes, rocking back with or without your hands. Let's find a balance on toes. Hold. Then slowly, 5 seconds, ascend. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold the top. 5, squeeze the cheeks, knees stay straight, slowly descend. 3, 2, landing. Nice control.
Excellent.
All right.
Excellent. Checking that connectivity there, Lauren. I know. Got a little weak signal, but that's okay. We're going to continue on here.
We're going to continue.
We're going to continue on in our squat. So in that warm-up, my feet were about here. So find your squatting stance, slightly turned out. Take your breath and just pull yourself down. And you might shimmy your feet just that little bit extra to pull yourself down to your personal squatting position. Can you breathe down here? As a fun game, I want to make my stance a little narrower actually. From this position, could you safely get as low as you can? Kind of wiggle yourself down there.
Lower like a ball.
Like a ball. Get as low and as tight as you can. Then very slowly find center and then lift your heart or sternum up, which is providing that extension shape. Lauren's side profile shows this the best and the hardest. Take your arms out front. Keep the shoulders out of the ears. Oh, look at that shape, Lauren. That's so tough. How tough is that class crew out there? And then just pull back down to the rack or similar and to tall. Testing that overhead mobility as prior in that down dog shape and in that squat will really aim to help your overhead mobility in the handstand too. Let's do that one more time. But this time, let's take those hands overhead. Find your squat stance of your preference. And again, just very patiently pull yourself down. Doing this in front of a wall could give you really interesting feedback as well. We're hanging out, we're maintaining our breath, we're feeling a really crazy big back stretch, but it feels safe, of course. And then to tall, and then pull back down and straighten out. Excellent. With those squatting hips, I was thinking maybe we could do one more fun crawl, that little monkeying around crawl, Lauren. What do you think?
Sounds like a great idea.
Okay.
So let's find some space where you could go sideways here. We'll pull ourselves down into that low squat. Maybe this is where you stay. If you'd like to add on, it's going to be hand, hand, foot, foot. Hand, hand, foot, foot. It can be baby air here, just finding a little bit of balance in those hands, a little bit of weight distributed throughout all 10 fingers in those wrists. And then as we go back, maybe you're able to find a little bit bigger of some monkey air here. Be soft with your landings on your hands. Use your fingers. Get back to that squat position. Press to tall.
Wow.
And give that a little shake.
Working easy tasks to middle task to very challenging task. We've done that so far today. Spending time on the wrists and grooving those shoulders. Task number 1, relatively easy. Number 2, plank down dog, pretty challenging. And number 3, weight transfers like the monkey squat. Pick the one that's right for you. Join us, continue with us as Lauren gets into her favorite entry, the tripod kick-up. Chasing the baby air, and it's always juicy and tempting to get right up right away, but just give yourself that confidence at the low level and climb a little bit as you feel safe and strong with it. So little baby air, and Lauren's doing some little switches here. Take a couple more repetitions, looking for about 5 or 6 each. There we go. Just get the flow. What's the checklist in your head? It could be heavy fingertips, straight elbows, shrugged shoulders, and more from Lauren.
Take a second off there. All right, that's that tripod entry. We have our hands gripping the floor, our elbows nice and straight, our shoulders shifted over top. And then our goal is to get our hips stacked over top of our shoulders, and then ultimately those legs But right now, working on coming up and down safely with control and softly. Other than the dragon breathing, you shouldn't hear too much thumpity thumper over here. Thumpity thump thump.
Okay, it must be Christmas time, but it's also time to maybe explore that second variation for the handstand. It's the step in.
Oh.
So Lauren will take the leg out front, the arms overhead, the hollow body shape, and whether it's baby air
I
or
missed the
right
baby.
into it, baby hairs or right into it, there you go. Take the time to climb that ladder, but Lauren's feeling good, so just why not go for it there? Right on. So that step in entry or the tripod, what is your go-to? Very nice toe points there. Lauren,
One more.
last one. Get a good one in there. Yeah, nice little scissor switch as we go.
Those are my favorite legs.
You go, I go, give yourself some rest.
So it is important to practice both legs, even though one is more challenging than the other, but it's good for the brain and good for the body, so you should try it. Starting with that baby air and then progressing to more overhead. If you're nervous about tumbling out of this, keep one leg behind you, reaching to the back wall. Oh, like that, reaching to the back wall, creating that L shape, and that leg will prevent you from coming over. Yes, like that. That's what I wanted. There we go. Very good.
Sometimes it's hard to listen when you're upside down there, but shake it out. We'll come back to those shapes, of course. Let's just stick with Lauren's squatty horse walk there and continue with some of our favorite weight transfers. This first time through, let's get down in a squat, and then when we stand up together, just pull those feet together, super stiff like a tin soldier. Frosty the Snowman one time and tin soldier the other. So you got it, Lauren. Let's pull ourselves back down. And then from here, stand straight up and just pull those heels together. Pick up a foot, land in a squat, and then straight up, assemble together. Just about one more each here. Down, power up, pick up the foot, and down, and power back up. And then add a little bit of a shake. Last week, we spent some time on the wall. The previous week, we did too. Maybe go there or use your Chesterfield, ottoman, whatever that is, the couch to assist yourself in your modified handstand. But for Lauren, let's look for a 5-second
We are
handstand.
going there. Okay.
In free space.
Oh.
But feel free to use the wall or any of those other recommendations or progressions to get us to your handstand. So here Lauren goes in that handstand. Take an entry or two, take your time, and looking for a number that represents a low number. Maybe it's a 1/1000, or as Lauren just did there, a nice 5-second handstand.
Whew.
Rest, shake it out. You go, I go. My
All
turn.
right, so your favorite, when you're aiming for your goal here, use your favorite entry. So Ian's going to do his step in kick here and aiming for about 5 seconds. So whatever you're doing, try to hold for 5 seconds. Maybe that's just holding the down dog. That's holding in that monkey position, that low squat, the plank. Get those hands used to it and then come out of it with control.
The control word. How are your wrists doing? And I'll ask my training partner, Lauren, too. How are your wrists doing?
Great, fine, ready to do it again.
And if everything lines up, I like hearing that. So do it again. So Lauren's checklist starts with gripping hands and shoulders over top of the wrists. Then a beautiful point of the toes, the hollow body shape. And Lauren's so tall, she's growing off of that screen, pointing her toes up and driving the hands down. Beautiful time. I've lost track. That's at least 10 seconds. Very well done. So what Lauren can do, I can try to do too. So let's try through that 5 to 10 second round here as we're warming up that handstand.
On that handstand endurance is all about spending time on those wrists and finding a way that's safe to do so. So whether you're against the wall in that plank position, crawling around like an elephant or a monkey or a frog, spend some time underneath 3. Sorry, I'm timing at the same time as talking. 2, 1, good. Spending some time on those hands and wrists will just create the strength you need and as well find the
fine-tuning.
Right, thank you, of your fingers and the weight shift to keep you in that upside down position.
Great. Let's progress off that squat. We'll do about 3 quick repetitions each side. And if we ended up with the feet together like that tin soldier, let's end up like a little baby tree here with the toe connected to the ankle down low. So pull yourself in your low squat. Think power and balance. and grip those toes and point and squat and find a balance and point and squat and repeat. And same effort here, and the leg that we land on is so stiff, nice and supple in the squat. Last one each. And last time here, squat and power. One more time, squat, and then up in the middle, heel toes those feet together and shake it out. We did about a 5-second interval. We did about a 10-second interval. What do you think should be next, Lauren?
15.
15, okay. You can't always go up, but it's nice to try to graduate.
I don't know.
From
I didn't know
low
what you wanted me to
high.
say.
I love it, love it. So 15 isn't for you, or 1, 2, 3 isn't the right strategy. Just spend time in the kick up and work on your relationship with the ground and gravity, because sometimes it's harder day by day. But Lauren will go about 15 seconds of work, and it might take us 1 or 2 tries to get into it, and that's okay. Allow yourself the opportunity to reset and the point. Lauren's line is so good there. Toes point, heavy hands. 4, 3. That's a super solid 15-second effort there, Lauren. And then get a little bit of
practicing
shake.
every Saturday morning.
Yeah, and that is true. We've had a lot of practice to get us to this point, but we truly only practice with handstands just once a week, so those little bits do go a long way.
Or when we're doing a photo shoot and under pressure.
Yeah, that's hard. This is hard too. This is live.
Anywho, Ian goes now, spending 15 seconds upside down in any way. The other thing you could be doing is working on that core. So lying on your back, doing that hollow body hold for the same duration. Climbing up the wall, hanging out in plank. Whatever you're doing, you have 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and safe landing.
Awesome. And a shake. Let's take some time off of those hands and repeat that nice little squat series. Repeat again the phase appropriate for you. So either assemble together with 2 feet on the ground, or assemble in the low position, or assemble in the low position and then climb and reach. So here we go, 3 each side. Balance, climb, point, land. Balance, climb, or hold, and land. 2 more each side. Point those toes and land, and power, climb, point, 1 more each. Balance, climb, point those toes, and this is our final repetition. Climb, point, land, and power back up.
What you should have said is keep that standing leg straight the whole time. Keep the knee to the side, turn out the legs.
There is a list.
Keep your abs braced.
A big list. We had 1, 2, and 3 sets of handstands, low, medium, and high interval. Let's just repeat that whole thing. We'll go back to 5 seconds. And the goal here is to give yourself that confidence that you could have done more. So let's see 5 beautiful seconds in the handstand, Lauren. The list is the same. The toes are pointed, the knees are straight. It's that hollow body shape that we often practice.
4 or 5.
Yeah, 5 enough. That's 5 enough. The hollow body shape that we often warm up with as well. Okay, 5
I was getting proud of myself in my head that I've been entering my handstands pretty well today. And then I can't get too cocky. I wasn't cocky, I was just thinking, wow, this is going very well. So 5 seconds and down. Good.
It doesn't have to be the announcer's jinx. You can jinx yourself a little bit sometimes too. Shake out those hands. Let's give it 1 more little squat break here. This time, let's just change up that squat to be more in a front-back direction, revisiting elements of that toe squat from before. So stand nice and tall. On a single leg, we'll bend, and we'll reach the other leg out front. Then press off the back leg and try to go over the toes on that rear trailing leg. Then, like the warm-up, go over the toes, land with the heel, and repeat. But this time, could we try to lean back, keep the ribs connected to the hips, and then hold for a second, and then push through, and just again, try to trail over that back toe. Then for 1 more time, land, but this time, lean back right away, and then keeping that rib cage connected to the hips. Lauren's side profile looks amazing, and then push off that back leg. Now connect the knee together and clear the foot underneath without bringing the knee forward. Let's repeat that same thing on the other side. So single leg squat to the front, push off the back leg, aim to point. That's the same leg.
I did the same thing
That's
too.
the same leg. Little brain gym there exercise as well. So then we'll go over the toe. We'll land in our squat again and pull the rib cage to those hips. You'll stand up just a little bit here, but challenge that balance and then push off. That's a great line, Lauren. Push off that back leg and finish with the toe. One more time, toe, ball, heel, but extend the hips and the rib cage connection here and hold for time. Breathe into that. Push off the back leg, connect the knee, clear the foot, and shake. 5, 10, 15, 5 or 4.75 for Lauren. And then let's do another set of a 10-second handstand here. What is your favorite entry, your favorite strategy, or the exercise that you're doing as you're catching up to the handstand protocols here? Lauren's breathing and pointing, maybe a little shake, and then I think she wants to try that again. Good. Nice. We're allowed multiple tries to get into it, but if we're failing in the good word of the word failing, maybe 2 more seconds there, Lauren, looking awesome. Switch it up. Oh, there we go. Nice little split.
Whew.
Okay.
There we go.
10 seconds.
All right, 10 seconds here, team. And again, maybe you're taking some time off of your wrists. They're tired, they've done enough. That's also a good decision to make too. Quitting while you're ahead is better than overdoing it. Take your time. These will probably be the first things to tire in this activity, or the old core 3, 2, safe dismount. Excellent. Whew.
Awesome. There's one more task that we'd like to finish with today. It's that minute of craziness where for 1 minute or similar, we'll be crawling around or handstanding, building strength and always having fun.
Or climbing a wall.
Climbing a wall. But until then, let's just get down on the floor, integrate our little middle split, check in, and then we'll be right back up as you finish in the handstand. So come on down, sit nice and tall. We've enjoyed sharing this position in our Thursday class where we've been pressing a kettlebell from this middle splits position. But first, we need that anterior tip of the hips. So we're nice and strong, connected to the floor, on the sit bones, like how you'd sit on a bicycle. Either Lauren's gorgeous ballet points or the karate style foot. And maybe the hands out front for a little extra balance. Then the pancake element could be sternum or heart towards the ground, avoiding the rounding shape. Instead, think of that nice extension. Say hello to those adductors. Lauren enjoys a nice little rib cage slide here as well. Breathe into it, come out of it with control, sit nice and tall, and maybe just go into that one last quick time. Yeah, shimmy the legs open if that created a little bit more room for you.
I just like to bending the knee, straightening the knee, bending the knee, straightening the knee. Do that as you shift into that pancake. That gives you a little more room there.
Nice. So a little bit more of an active stretch than truly letting gravity contort you into that position. And just breathe and take your time coming out and personalize your up strategy. I like that little roll over and stand. So my hands have felt recharged from that element of being off of them for a second. So with about a minute on that clock and our last exercise for today, we're holding that ultimate challenge handstand for a safe duration upwards of that gold, let's call it the platinum jubilee standard of a minute.
Platinum jubilee.
Gold standard is just that you showed up here. So let's do it in about 5 seconds, or when our second hand is on the 6, so it's easy for us to count. And in about 3 and 2, and have fun. Here we go.
Oh, shake it out. All those other timed balances catching up here. I might try one more.
It's 40 seconds there. Pretty good for today. You got it. Give yourself that little opportunity to save, but also know when to call it a day on that. And again, embrace a nice little shake. This has been the weekend workout where we are very grateful that you have spent time with us, either live at 8 a.m. or in the archive, training your strength and having fun with Lauren and me. We'll be here next week. We'll be here next year. So to stay in touch, get in tune. Well, how do they do that?
Well, you check out our website, and if you're in town, you can come by and join us. And if not, you can check out our Patreon page to help us keep this going.
Nice.
Until then, Tuesday night, we practice our barbell class right here, practicing our strength with the kettlebell. Thursday night, we're on the other side of the room with our bar strength for our hips and our mobility. And then we're back here. In between then, go for walks and eat your vegetables. And until next time, take care, stay strong, and we'll train soon.
Goodbye. Have a good day.